What's going on, guys? Welcome to our brand Beyond's channel. In today's video I'm talking about the iPhone 8 and of course the Galaxy Note 8. Now I've been talking about these phones a lot, but that's because always there's an update about these phones because everyone is interested to see what Apple and Samsung manufacture. As far as the iPhone 8, I'm hearing that the phone could be possibly waterproof, even in fact it could have wireless charging. This is very interesting because Apple has never included that with their phones, and I'm also thinking about the possibilities. What if that phone has a wireless charger as well? I talked about that with the Galaxy Note 8, but if Apple includes that accessory, I am sure a lot of people are going to notice that. That would be the one accessory to add to your phone that really makes you stand out from the competition. There's not one company out there that I know of that's actually including a wireless charger yet with their phone. If that becomes an industry standard, I think it's going to be fantastic because there's a lot of people out there that are fans of wireless charging, and it is much more innovative than the standard charging. As far as the iPhone 8 being waterproof, that is a possibility, but we have to make sure that everyone knows the difference between waterproof and water resistant. You know, with the Apple Watch, that's water resistant. With the phone possibly being waterproof, that means that any kind of water can get on the phone and the phone will continue to work. So just make sure you have that understanding when you're actually using the phone or when Apple presents the phone, which I'm sure they're going to explain. With additional hardware like dual cameras on the back of the phone possibly, of course dual speakers, we're talking about an innovative screen with the screen sensor within a screen and also a lot less bezel to the design of the phone. This is going to be one of the best phones of the year. The only reason I'm saying the Galaxy Note 8 is going to be the phone of the year is because I'm a fan of Android, so it's just my personal opinion, but I think both of those phones are going to be the best phones out of all the smartphones on the market, the Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 8. As far as the Galaxy Note 8, we're going to see dual speakers possibly, dual cameras on the back of the phone, a better screen, better processor from Samsung, and you're also talking about edges to the phone. It is going to be a very unique phone. The only thing that's bothering people out there is the possibility that this phone could possibly have a sensor in the screen rather than on the back of the phone. If that happens, then we have to think about how Samsung's trying to manufacture these phones really quickly compared to what Apple's doing out there, because it really is all about Apple and Samsung right now with the way they compete against each other and also with the way they manufacture their phones throughout the year. With Apple, they manufacture their phones once a year, but with Samsung, they have the Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus, and of course the Galaxy Note 8. So with Apple, they try to manufacture their phones, so it's the best phone out of all the phones out there, which the iPhone is always really popular because Apple has brand loyalty, but also the fact people are interested to see what Apple's manufacturing. With Samsung, it's a similar situation, although Apple has more brand loyalty. So with Samsung, they have to get it right the first time around. When companies are out there manufacturing phones and they have fans of the phones, people are expecting it to be the best phone out of all the phones, and Samsung fans or even fans of Android really want to see a fantastic phone from Samsung. Including myself, I would really like to see Samsung get this right the first time, not innovate the phone after the fact. So with Samsung, with the sensor within the screen, that would be important. Dual cameras on the back of the phone would be fantastic. A better processor, better screen technology, which we're seeing from Samsung, of course, with including edges to the phone, and it's also going to have a phablet design. I think it's going to be an awesome phone, and I also think it's going to be better than the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, and that's just my personal opinion again. As far as these phones competing with each other and the prices of the phones, people are expecting Apple to increase the price of the iPhone, and even with the Galaxy Note 8, that is a possibility as well, because with additional features and additional hardware, these companies are going to justify increasing the price of the phone. You could possibly see other companies manufacture phones with the similar hardware and the similar features, but cheaper. That's because Samsung and Apple are industry leaders, so they could increase the prices of their phones. But if we're also talking about other companies even trying to include those features, it's really complicated. If you hear stories about Samsung and the fact that trying to include a sensor in the screen, it's not so easy for them. You know, some people out there think, well, a company's manufacturing a phone, just add that hardware, add that feature, and they just manufacture the phone. It does not work that way. They have to think about the technology, they have to manufacture the hardware, and then they have to include it all in one phone. Even with the iPhone, for that phone to possibly be waterproof or water resistant is much different, because if it was waterproof, that means that it went through a lot of testing so it can go through any kind of water. So these kind of situations for companies and the continuous innovation with the phones is a challenge for them. Look at what happened with Apple. They didn't want their consumers going to another company because they could possibly change their phone that much where people just wouldn't like the iPhone anymore. But I think this time around with the iPhone, it's going to be so unique and innovative that Apple's going to get it right. That's why I'm saying it's going to be one of the best phones of the year. You're going to have better hardware, possibly dual cameras on the back of the phone or even dual speakers, a better screen. We're talking about the sensor in the screen. Then you're talking about the fact that it could be waterproof or water resistant and also have wireless charging. This is Apple actually listening to the industry and listening to consumers and really understanding what they want, so they manufacture one of the best phones out there. And this is what it's all about as well. Companies competing with each other, and we're getting additional features and hardware because, you know, sometimes with companies, they just want to manufacture the same thing because it works for them. And that's something Apple has done before. But I think at this point in time, Apple has noticed the Galaxy phones and also the way the industry is looking at the smartphone these days and saying, you know what, we have to add additional hardware. And additional features are not an option anymore. We have to add that as well so we can make our phones unique also. And just about the Galaxy Note 8, my personal opinion about the manufacturing of the phone is that if they can't include a sensor in the screen, then maybe Samsung should just wait till they manufacture the phone where they can do that. That's just, again, my personal opinion. I know with Apple, they delay their manufacturing because they're looking at other companies out there and they're saying, you know what, if we want to manufacture this phone the right way, we might have to delay the phone. And that just happens, including that Apple doesn't manufacture their own hardware like that. But when you talk about Samsung, they manufacture their own hardware. When people are talking about the possibility that the phone has a 13 megapixel camera, that's because Samsung is manufacturing that camera. But if you can't include that sensor in the screen, then maybe you should just wait until you manufacture that phone with the sensor in the screen so fans of your company see that you're manufacturing the best phone out there. So that's what I think about the iPhone 8 or even the Galaxy Note 8. I would like to know what you guys think. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about these phones. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.